everyone, this is Christina Kalyakin with Century 21 Vanguard, Land and Commercial Specialist. Today I wanted to do a very quick video about appraisals. Now appraisals are very, very important, and this is going out to all buyers and to all sellers that are involved in a real estate transaction. So this applies to probably very small chance cash buyers, sellers, and mostly to people that are buying a home, buying land, buying commercial property with a mortgage loan. So what is an appraisal? An appraisal is basically an unbiased opinion, basically someone that the bank hires to do a correct estimate of how much the home is worth, or the home, the land, or the commercial property. So an appraisal is going to be done to basically ensure the bank's interest. So that way, if in the future you default, they know that they're not giving you too much money or too little money when you're purchasing that home. So there's very important things that you need to know as a buyer when you're making an offer. Unfortunately, I just had a deal that fell through completely because we offered we offered them full listing price, but what the listing agent didn't account for was that every property around had not sold for that much. So that's why we couldn't put the deal together. We put, let's say, just example's sake, we gave him an offer for $300,000 and the appraised value was only $275,000. So in that case, either the seller needs to go down or the buyer brings that extra cash to the closing, because the bank is basically saying, okay, listen, so we got an appraisal for $275,000, we're only loaning you $275,000. So that basically affects the buyer and the seller, because the buyer now either needs to come up with that cash, or the seller got really excited they're getting an offer for $300,000, but unfortunately didn't appraise, so they'd have to come down on about $25,000. So those are, appraisals affect both buyers and seller. It's not just the buyer. So that's why it's very important when you're making an offer. Let's say there's 10 offers on the table. That's great. And let's say you're super excited, super emotional, and you say, all right, let's offer them 10, 20,000 more than what they're asking. But also keep in mind that when you go to get that loan, one of the first things, a part of the closing process, is that appraisal. So keep that in mind. Try not to let your emotions get in the way, because you need to either be prepared to bring that extra cash up to the table if it doesn't appraise, or just be mindful of that. And that basically affects people that are trying to refinance as well, because if a low appraisal comes in, then that could kind of affect your refinancing. So just wanted you to know that an appraisal is very important to consider when you're making an offer. Now, appraisal is anywhere from, $300 to $500. That's usually about how much the bank charges. It really just depends on the size of the property. But, appraisals, those opinions, a real estate agent, we have access to MLS, we have access to comparables. It's more than just looking on Zillow.com. We have the figures to look at. And sometimes in a neighborhood, when something hasn't sold in a while, or, because an appraiser is only going to go about 2 miles outside of the radius, but, especially when you have such a unique home, like right now I'm working with a property, it's a log cabin with 9 acres, and there's nothing that compares even close. In those certain circumstances, sometimes the bank will take, will take the opinion of a real estate agent, but most of the time, they do their own own comparables, they do their own comparisons, and they go very detailed. I mean, the report is like 30 pages long. So basically, to wrap this up, an appraisal can make or break your real estate transaction. So beware that if you are excited about a property, there's multiple offers, and you tell your agent, let's give them $20,000 more. That's okay, you might get the offer, but be prepared that when the bank does the appraisal, there's a possibility that if it doesn't appraise to how much you offered, you're gonna have to bring that cash to the table. Some buyers, they say, hey, no problem, we want this property, whatever it takes, great. And also beware that some sellers are gonna say, no, we took that offer price, take it or leave it. So, again, an appraisal is very important in the closing process, especially if you're getting a mortgage. If you're not getting a mortgage and it's a cash deal, appraisal could still be worthwhile, because that way you can know, someone just comes up with a price, you have all cash. You still kind of want to get an opinion, whether it's from a real estate agent or an appraiser, so you know exactly how much that land is worth. So they're not just pulling that price off of Zillow.com, but that it's a, true evaluation of the market. And sellers, when you're listing your home, to be prepared for surprises, it could be a good idea to get appraisal. That $300, $500 could save you thousands of dollars in the future when other offers come in. That way you have an exact idea of how much your home is worth. So, my name is Christina Kalyakin, land and commercial and sometimes residential real estate professional here with Century 21 Vanguard. If you guys have any questions about appraisals, please comment below. I have some amazing contacts, some great loan officers I know, and just feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Have a great day, everyone.